All right, so I want to start the video off by saying I'm going to paraphrase this thing I heard from Gary Vee. Okay, so Gary once said something like, I can't hear any of you, right? He was talking about how, like, he can't hear the cheers of people cheering him on, and he can't hear the boos of people telling him he sucks, that he's garbage. Like, he can't hear any of it. And that stuck with me because, like, I really like that idea in general because I like the idea of just not giving a fuck about what people think about you. Like usually that idea is said in like a negative way, right? That it's like if people talk shit about you, you're like, "Ah, I don't give a shit what they think. If people say you shouldn't do that, you're wrong for doing that, or this is how you're supposed to live life, or whatever. It's like, who gives a fuck about what those people have to say, right? Like, I vibe with that idea. But hearing Gary talk about he can't even hear the cheers either, I've never heard that perspective. Like I've never heard that before. I never even thought about that. That I can't get caught up in the whole people saying I'm garbage because I might start to believe them, but I also can't get caught up in people saying that I'm awesome because it'll fuck up what I'm doing and it can make you not awesome anymore. Like you'll just get too wrapped up in your ego. You know, I said this to my daughter not too long ago, right? Like, kids are just kids, so she like, I don't know what I did. I did something or whatever. I think I was just having a serious conversation with her, just to kind of, just wanted to give her some information to kind of help her see something, whatever. By the end of it, she's like, you're a really good dad, and like, I don't know why, but I had to explain to her that like, I don't want to be a good dad. I'm just me. Like I don't give people advice because I want to be good. I don't fucking think about it, right? Like cuz I don't want to. It's crazy this sounds. I don't even want to be good. Right? I just want to be me. And whatever that means. So it's like I'm just living life. So it's like the things I do for my daughter, it's like she tries to thank me all the time, just for everything, but I just kind of hate thank yous. Like I don't like being thanked cuz I'm like I'm just being me. I don't need to thank you for that, or like this is what I wanted to do. I don't need to thank you for that. Like even some of the hard shit I've been, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it reminds me of this thing in One Piece. I've been watching a lot of One Piece lately, and Luffy and his crew went to some island. The island was having problems. They ended up getting wrapped up in those problems, and then they ended up helping the island. And then they originally just tried dipping out in secrecy, like not letting the people know, because the people were gonna like throw a celebration for them, thank them, like they wanted to thank them for saving them, right? But Luffy and his crew, like they're pirates. They don't want to be looked at like heroes, right? Like it's this thing where they're just being themselves, right? Gary Vee is just being himself. I'm just being myself, right? And like I get the whole point of it. That's why like I my daughter can thank me like it's fine, whatever. Like because I understand why she would want to. Like I understand why you thank people. But I think if you as the person that's being thanked gets caught up in doing it for the thank yous, you then fuck your shit up, bro. Like you can fuck your shit up in a second. And it's that thing that it doesn't matter that, my life is I'm starting to get better, right? But I could fuck myself up in a second. I could stop working out. I could stop eating healthy. I could change like in a second. Do you know how easy it is to go back to thinking the way I used to think, right? I've trained my mind so much now But it's like if I don't stay on top of it, you'll start to lose it again. The mind is a funny thing where it's like a use it or lose it thing. Your muscles are the same way. But if your attention or your ego, because really I think for me, it's just about not letting my ego get the recognition. Like the ego doesn't need to be thanked. It's going to do what the fuck my soul tells it to do, right? Like, but I know if you give that ego too much power, too much attention, too much whatever, it can begin to start to take you over, right? The ego is sneaky. It'll start with a little thought, right? Even as simple as your friend, maybe you and your friend do a similar thing, and your friend starts making more money in that similar thing. You might have the first thought to be a little jealous, a little, why isn't that me, or that should be you. Maybe your thought wasn't even that. Maybe it was, I work harder than them, so why would they, like, that thing. And it's like, it's okay because that's normal, right? The ego is there, it's gonna whatever. But this is why I stress about being conscious. Become conscious of your thoughts, become conscious of yourself, become conscious of the fact that if you start, I don't know, doing something but then you start getting recognition for that thing you're doing, you can lose yourself into the recognition. Fuck the recognition. Who gives a shit? Like, I have this point of view as well because it's like, I make videos, right? But my videos don't get much views and I don't even think about it. Like, I think that's a horrible thing to do with art. Cuz I look at these videos like a freestyled 20-minute free flow talk video, whatever. Cuz it's just literally a freestyle of like, I had an idea and I'm just going to freestyle and then I might ramble a little bit. But the art part of this whole thing is the fact that even when I ramble, it's still about the same type topic, just expanded. So, like, because the same thing, like what I said in the beginning about how Gary Vee said he can't hear anybody, that is him taking control of his own ego. That is him like recognizing that if you don't put some type of whatever, you might change yourself for more recognition, for more views, for and like you just got to be careful with that, right? That like I don't know, it's just something I can see that there's a possibility of that happening. Like that's why people say they get rich and then the money changed them. No, the money revealed them, but it also revealed how weak their boundaries are, how weak their mind was. Because if you don't gain some mental strength, some discipline, some whatever, learn how to focus, know what your why is, what your goal is, what the fuck are you doing, right? Like, because why are you the way you are? Why are you you? Right? You're you because of the values you have, the reason why you do this thing. But like whatever you're doing that allows you to be like, hey, you're dope, you're awesome at what you do, or someone saying you're fucking garbage, you're a piece of shit at what you do. Either way, you're doing something that people will judge you for. It could be simple living life, bro. You just living life. Like, and people will hate you. You could be happy and people will hate you. You can be, I don't know. Like, it's just this thing of you will be seen by others. You will be judged by others. Others will always have something to say about you, whether it's good or bad. And I just feel like if you can just, or at least for me, this is just what I do, that like I apply this shit to just the way I think, to the way I live life. Where like when I heard Gary Vee say that, when I watched One Piece and I seen how Luffy didn't want the recognition of a hero, he just wants to chase his dreams and be himself, right? Like it's just like I could see a reflection into, it's like something similar of what I'm going through, of that I don't want to be good or bad. I just want to be me, which is most likely both yin and yang, right? Like light and shadow. I just want to be a good man. And you know what's, I guess one of the reasons why I don't really like thank yous, I don't like to be thanked or whatever, is because I almost feel like I'm slightly selfish. So, like, don't thank me for a selfish goal, right? Like, and what I mean is, I say this all the time. I just want to be the best version of myself. That's it. And you know what the best version inclines for me? Like, what does it mean for me? It means that it's like everyone has an envisionment of their higher self. You know, like there's this idea of the higher self and the lower self. It's like I'm just trying to bring the higher self into the lower self to make them one in a sense, right? Because, and it's just it's a selfish thing, right? Because I was 12 years ago, I was just some gangster thug dude robbing people and armed robberies and all this crazy shit and just living life. That was just life. So, like, then it's like I had my first psychedelic experience. I had the first idea to start going down this journey shamanically. I had a selfish idea. And I say selfish because it was all about the self. It was all about me finding who do I want to be, because it was a realization that I am just the soul that's going through this experience. The soul meaning a pure version of the self, the pure awareness that you are. But like I feel like when people think about the higher self, they're not just talking about the pure awareness, like pure awareness with not any knowledge or whatever. They're more talking about a greater version of themselves. So, like, I just feel like if your intention matters, so if you're doing things to get more views, your art will not be as good as it really could be, right? Like, if you're trying to please others, whether it's trying to make things different so people don't boo you, so people don't put you down, right? Like, I can make my videos different where then people like view them more or whatever. But I have another idea where it's like, no, make the content the way that it is, right? Like, keep it the way that it is. But then I can turn these videos into a style of content that other people might prefer, right? But I don't need to change what I'm doing. I can then keep doing what I'm doing and turn what I did into what other people want. But the art itself, the thing that I'm actually just doing, I'm just doing me. I'm just growing me. I'm just on my own spiritual journey, my own thing. And it's like, I don't know. I just got this weird perspective about it. Because I look at it like, I don't know. It's selfish to have a dream, and it's even more selfish to dedicate your life to just chasing that dream, right? Like, I truly just dedicated my life to the thing that I'm doing, right? And it's like, most people, like, everyone's gonna have something to say about that. If you gave up everything, you're like, oh yeah, I'd be homeless for this shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, that seems crazy, and people are gonna have something to say about it. Obviously, right? Like, I went through this whole transformation where I'm gonna make a video about that soon, but like, and it's like, of course, people are gonna say something about it, good or bad. Or maybe no one even sees it at all. That's great too, right? Like, meaning I would still be making this